Good morning, my name is Janessa Green. I'm from Spirit Lake. My major is criminal justice.
My name is Kiara Londra. I'm from Fort Peck, and my major is business.
My name is Angel Lumbering. I'm from Sandy Rock, and my major is IT.
My name is J.R. Hankinson, and I'm from Fort Berthold, and my major right now is just my associates. Our topic discussion was why is violence so high on the reservations?
And then the definitions that we chose were just like violence, which is an unjust or unwarranted exertion of force or power as against rights or laws. And then tribal sovereignty, so the ability to govern and to protect and enhance the health, safety, and welfare of tribal citizens within tribal territory. So the article I found was from the North Dakota United States Attorney's Office, and it's an anti-violence strategy for tribal communities working to make reservations safer through enforcement, crime prevention, and offender re-entry programs. Like most places in the world, violence and crime seems to make its appearance whether it's being prevented or not. Unfortunately, reservations are no stranger to that fact as well. Although with tribes having their own rights and laws, some of the off-reservation laws affect outcomes that come with the violence and crime. For example, being a non-native that commits a crime on the reservation will not be taken into custody because tribal officials have no jurisdiction over non-native parties. There has been legal changes over the years that aim directly at the violence and crime on reservations in an attempt to stop or lessen the rates. In a North Dakota law review, Tim Burton states, anti-violence strategy cannot solve all of the public safety challenges in tribal communities in North Dakota, as these challenges are centuries in the making. Creating an anti-violence society is not an overnight nor a year-long process, but a few generations in the making to create change. Since 2011, there has been many laws that have changed in order to help the progress to stop violence on reservations, along with other problems that occur. Yet reservations are still faced with the same issues with the slightest amount of change from law officials. Although we can consider that a step since 2011 law changes, there is yet to bring more change or to prevent the violence and crime on reservations.
Thank you.
Mine is responsible resource development and prevention of sex trafficking and safeguarding on women and children on the Fort Berthold Reservation, by Kathleen Finn and Carla Fredericks. It was written in 2017. Fort Berthold Reservation here in North Dakota has been home of the oil boom since 2008. And not just the reservation, but surrounding cities, for example, like Watford City, Killdeer, and Dickinson, and whatever small towns lay between them. When the oil boom hit, there was only 200,000 barrels and to 1.1 million a day today. With the desperate need for workers and to keep up with the high demand, it attracted people from all over the world because it has great paying, which also has brought in all kinds of traffic for the reservation, but unfortunately it wasn't the best. Since then, the violence has skyrocketed like the BIA has never seen before, including various crimes like for drugs being number one, and sex trafficking and sexual assault. But basically, like lonely men being away from their families and on drugs and what they call man camps. They preyed on women on the reservation and children. Mind you, these camps are like everywhere on my reservation. And so like I always got sick feeling driving by them because you could see them everywhere you go. So, and there's like plenty of stories from back home. about the things that go on there. And it has ripped many souls for my people and killed many of them off with the drug epidemic like fentanyl and heroin, even till today. Fort Berthold has made tiny fixtures like making oil trucks drive on the outskirts of Newtown and not through the main town anymore. That has made a tiny difference, but no significant changes yet. People home to the reservation they grew up in, causing plenty of enrolled members to relocate to safer cities, places where their kids will be safe, like my mother has done with me and my siblings when I was 14. It is safe to say that the drug problem isn't going to lighten anytime soon, and neither is the assaults, as long as people foreign to the reservation remain working on oil rigs on the Fort Berthold reservation, home to the 3 affiliated tribes.
Thank you.
So my article is on embracing tribal sovereignty to eliminate criminal jurisdiction chaos. Like many tribal communities, the government has made treaties or deals with reservations. One of those deals that play a big impact with the violence within the reservation is the tribe not having full power of jurisdiction over what happens when crimes occur. Having to do with race and politics mostly, more than half of women on reservations have a partner that is non-native. So when they display acts of domestic violence, there is nothing done. As with other races committing crime on reservations, like bringing drugs to our native communities because of remote locations, there is also nothing done due to the lack of jurisdiction tribes have over non-natives. Over 50% of crimes committed on reservations are non-natives, and that itself should be enough to change laws and give tribes the full power that is much needed to protect our Native American communities. Our tribal sovereignty is at risk when we allow such crimes to be walked over by laws like they are not affecting our Native communities.
And then for my summary, I had 2, and I basically just picked the most common that occur on my reservation and put it in this summary. Recently, as the years went by, more violence within a Native community has begun to rise and continue to grow, both from the community and from the outside. Some common violence crimes on the reservations are more involved with gang violence, suicide, SA, and family violence. Reservations are among emerging communities for gang activity. More than 4 in 5 American Indian men and women have experienced violence with physical, logical aggression, and physical aggression by intimate partners. Stalking and sexual violence being a common violence. Given the empirical ties between social deprivation and violence, Beckman's discussion of sovereignty, self-determination, racism, and economic barriers represent logical extensions of the findings, as are the elaborations of policies and programs related to alcohol and drug use. Suicide on reservations are linked with social disorganization and deprivation of resources, and even the reservation itself. Beckman's quote from is someone who examines reservation populations, so that's what she does. And she says, this indicates that some communities are in such a state of despair and deprivation that destruction acts directed both toward others and toward the self appear to flourish. Although there are some groups and other resources to help spread more awareness, it continues to be an issue. And then I would like to add another definition, which is the social deprivation. It's a person who is disconnected from his or her society and healthy social interaction for a variety of different reasons.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, well done.